Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. You heard? Hit my head, yo. You know what I mean? Hey, yo. Hey, listen. Welcome back. All right? Been gone for a minute. Back again. All right? Hey, look. ISCSR here to give you what's real. ISCSDR. Independent Sovereign City State Democratic Republic here. Live. Direct. All right? Hey, the beat you hearing right now, that ain't Love by Ill Mind. That's Little Brother. All right? Little Brother is the group. You can look up Little Brother, Fonte, Pooh, Big Pooh. All right? Very very influential artist. North Carolina. Shout out North Carolina. All right? Ill Mind. Asian producer. Asian beat maker. Very relevant for today. All right? And go. All right. Hey, look, again, welcome back. ISCSDR, Independent Sovereign City State Democratic Republic, here to give you live and direct what's real. This is R. Okay? I'm gonna play games here. All right. Again, usually do this, shoot, as often as I want. But most importantly, as a sign of the times. All right? Intuitively, all right, intuition is telling us that we're experiencing a renaissance. We're experiencing a paradigm shift. All right, if you don't know what that means, it's a change in a change of hands in how we do things culturally as a globe. A whole shift is a paradigm shift, not just for me, not just me changing how I get up every day. This for the entire world. All right. For example, if the calendar changed, that's a shift for everyone. All right, Monday is no longer Monday. 24-hour days no longer exist. Instead of 24 hours, we going 27 hours. That's a whole thing. Are we going 30 hours a day? That's a whole shift. Same for everyone. Okay, so that's what a paradigm shift is. All right, typically a way of thinking. Yeah, let's take a look. So again, here, give you three things. All right, social. All right, political and science. Typically give you three of these. First we're gonna take something more recent. All right, this is social. It's a little fucked up, but it's social or messed up, but it's social. Okay. Um, Suspect arrested, charged with hate crime, assault, and horrific NYC attack on Asian American women. Look, if you don't know what's been going on for the past what's today? 31. For the past week, maybe 2 weeks. It's about March 31st now. All right. You don't know what's going on. Asian people have been a victim of a lot of attacks recently. All right, in Atlanta, like 8. There's a shootout. Not a shootout. There was a murder, I want to say. White American killing 8 Asian Americans. All right. Despite what his personal reasoning was. All right. On the surface, it doesn't look right. You murder on the surface don't look right for anybody. All right. Your reasoning behind it is only exacerbated when depending on who you are. See what I'm saying? So anyway, this guy Brandon Elliott, 38, faces of assault as a hate crime. If you don't know what hate crimes are, that's a crime that specifically is towards someone off of a pretense of hate, off of a pretense of skin, gender, culture, um, stuff that has nothing to do with you, of pure hate. So if you wake up if you watch television and I hate television, I will go kill you because you're watching television. That's a hate crime. All right, it's not a good look. Okay, because of your culture, belief of doing that. All right, the suspect hurled anti-Asian sentiments and assaulted the 65-year-old woman. This lady's 65 and you are 38. Clown, man. Let me see, man. Surveillance video from inside the building captured images of the assault, showing a man kicking and stomping the woman. All right. Brutally assaulting her. He was released from prison in 2019 and is on lifetime parole. Elliott was convicted of stabbing his mother to death in 2002 when he was 19. Jesus Christ. Dude's 38. He was released in 2019 and is on lifetime parole. And he attacked someone else 2021. All right. Prison system in itself is jacked up. So I don't know how long he was in there. I don't know how long he went in there for. Prison system itself is jacked up. Excuse me. All right. So anybody that goes in, if you're not self-rehabilitating, that prison system is gonna make you even worse. If you don't have the willpower to withstand it, and you keep hold of yourself and have some belief and faith in your own person or God or something like that, that keeps you level, the prison's gonna mess you up. All right. So Brandon Elliott is a victim of the prison system. Most importantly, he's probably a victim of other things because he stabbed his mother to death in 2002. So there's probably a lot of stuff that's going on with him. Okay. But more importantly, the crimes against Asian Americans, there's a lot of speculation behind that. There's a lot of not speculation, a lot of debate behind it, especially for people of color, especially for black people, minorities in general. All right, but especially black people. Black people are known to be the ones that speak up. We're known to be the ones that are angry. All right, and rightfully so. All right, we didn't choose to move over here. We weren't forced out of our country. We weren't forced out of our country. We didn't choose to move over here. There was no kind of pretense to get here. You see what I'm saying? It was just a kidnap and take. You see what I'm saying? So there's no reason for us to be happy here because we're lost here in a sense. See what I'm saying? Me personally, I can't go deep into the history of things and to say like, okay, well, you're not lost. You know, you found your place. Look, you're in the house and all this other stuff. That's not the point. All right. It's really not the point. All right. The point is that there are minorities in this country and black people are the ones that are speaking up the loudest. So when other minorities are getting torn up, besides black people, when other minorities are getting torn up, it will behoove you to start partnering with black people. It would behoove you to do that. From the very beginning, we said Black Lives Matter, and we said if black lives don't matter, no other life can matter. None. And that's proven here. All right? Asian Americans are getting attacked. Spanish Americans are getting attacked. Shoot. Even broke white people are getting attacked. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that get attacked in this nation. All right. But the ones that are speaking out the loudest are always the black people. And that's why we have to say that black lives have to matter. You have to pay attention to what we're saying. All right. Because we're the only ones speaking out. Essentially, we're the only ones consistently always speaking out. So you have to say, hey, man, this black person's life matters. You have to submit to that and say that and agree with that and show that in all your physical traits of whatever you're doing. You have to show that. Government and federals have to show that. And once they show that black people's lives will matter, then it pulls other races up by the bootstrap that have been sitting down trying to just keep their head down and go through the system. You see what I'm saying? It'll pull other people up to say, okay, we can talk, because other races don't think they can talk. Some people, I don't know if you know this, some people are coming over here to this country and being told to emulate and to copy what white people do because they're the most successful. You don't copy what white people do. You got Asians coming over here from Japan, China, Korea, wherever, Philippines, see what I'm saying? Somalia, whatever. And they have to copy what white people do. They can't do what they do. All right. It's a social document for you. Second, we're going to go into politics, the most boring, and I'm not going to spend much time on it. Infrastructure was a Trump punchline, but it is a window into Biden's soul. All right. Basically, what this means is Joe Biden is planning on doing a infrastructure change. He's saying that there's a renaissance going on, and he's going to be in history. This has been done by presidents before. Not a lot, but an entire shift of things happened. All right. Wall Street didn't come up from nowhere. Someone had to pass that. All right. President had to say, hey, look, we're going to put that as a structure. All right. The Federal Reserve, they're going to have to implement that. That is a huge change when you put a Federal Reserve in. All right, it's a huge change when you put in when you put in Wall Street, or when you put in certain tax laws. You see what I'm saying? Or even when you started taxation in the beginning. You see what I'm saying? It's a huge change, a huge shift. All right, when you put in unions. All right, when they said unions were cool, it's a huge change. All right, but some of the things he's talking about are things I've been hearing since I was born. All right. The vision is now is not just for new highways, broadbands, and ports. All right. If you don't know, that's what the feds usually do when they say there's an infrastructure change. We're gonna put in new highways, better entire service for everyone, better ports and things like that for people to go in and out of. You see what I'm saying? But he sees revived labor unions, equally shared GDP growth, easier access to health care, equal pay for women, clean energy, and better child care for workers. I will tell you, GDP growth, labor unions, health care, equal pay for women, and clean energy. Honestly, all these have been said in the 90s before. I've heard this before, and nothing's happened. If you can imagine, it's 4 years of a time. We've had what, 4, 5 maybe presidents already in that span of time. All right, and I don't see a change. See what I'm saying? That's the issue with politics in general. They talk, they'll tell you, but there's no change. All right, it's gonna be the same thing, just for him to get another vote. That's the main reason for him doing it, is to say, okay, I'm gonna say this because this got me in office, and I'm gonna keep saying it because I want another term, and I want to be able to stamp that investment that y'all put in for me to be president. We want 2 terms out of you. Basic and simple. That's what business is about. So, if he's actually going to do it, again, this is a time for a paradigm shift. Black people have been speaking up a whole lot for these last couple of years. So if we keep this going, they have no choice but to, if they want our vote, they have no choice but to do it. You see what I'm saying? And since our vote turned over since our vote put the Democrats over the Republicans this year, then I don't know, maybe they'll do it because of that. All right. The 2 plans first includes investments in manufacturing, research and development, climate, and transport infrastructure. The second targets childcare, paid family leave, healthcare, and education, crucial considerations for U.S. workers. Okay. Childcare, paid, that should already be implemented. Honestly, for me personally, I think research and development, climate and transport need to be taken care of. Manufacturing, y'all got enough factories out here. All right, y'all got enough. We don't even you get imports. Most of the stuff that's manufactured is not even American made. You see what I'm saying? It's just copied here. You see what I'm saying? So no, we don't really need a manufacturing thing. We don't need more people to go into the labor force. No, you can replace that. If your job is to replace all those people that are in there in Ford dealership or warehouses and stuff, putting boxes together for $13 an hour, $10 an hour. You see what I'm saying? Working their backs out, hot as hell. All right. If your job is to replace them with robots, then okay, that's a manufacturing change, and that's a good change. I think it is. And you can put more of those people into school, in research and development, and in climate and transport. All right, where you're changing cars around. Okay, child care, paid family leave, healthcare, and education. Hey man, that's education should be the first one, because if education is first, all these other things are gonna fall in line. If you improve these schools for the kids, they're not gonna need as much child care. They're not gonna need as much paid family leave, because intellectually they'll be able to manage all the crap that you got going on in this world anyway a lot better, or get rid of it. I mean, plain and simple, the reason why that things are changing out there is because of our generation, because of the what are we, millennials? Because of millennials. My parents didn't. I'm getting a little personal. My parents didn't do that. All right, they rebelled and stuff like that, but they still had to work. They had to keep their house up. You see what I'm saying? They were too busy working. All right, we have the luxury of the internet. We can work and still go to war with the feds over the net. You see what I'm saying? So it's plain and simple. All right. Shifting political trends give Biden hope. I mean, look, man. Again, it's all politics. This is literally all politics. I have yet to see any change. Only change I'm gonna see is if it's in businesses, CEOs. All right. If a big business, if more EV businesses come out, then I'll know things are gonna change. But if no more EV businesses come out, nobody's gonna demand it on a federal level. Okay. Era of big government is over. That's what he's trying to say. We'll see. All right. Third, and I think it's very interesting. This is a scientific document. Long space flights and endurance swimming can shrink the heart, cause your heart to shrink. Okay. The logic behind this is plain and simple gravity. Okay. Both remove the loads on the heart that are usually applied by gravity, causing the organ to atrophy. So, what that means is when you're going into space or when you're doing swimming, all right, you lose gravity. Your heart is working to pump blood throughout the body. All right, if you can see the little poster back behind me right here. All right, you see this little poster here, right there. All right, see that? You know the heart is here, and the blood is pumping up to the brain. Blood is pumping down to your feet and back up. All right, throughout your whole body. It has to go up and down and everywhere. So gravity is pulling things wherever it pulls. If I'm leaning, if you do a handstand, what's going to happen with the blood? It's going to all rush to the head. You're going to feel that blood going to the head. That's why the feet are so sensitive. Okay, that's why the feet are so sensitive, because if you mess your feet up, the blood goes down there, and you may have crappy blood coming back up. Okay, it doesn't happen to the brain because the brain's up here. All right, there's not blood rushing there. But again, when you do a handstand, blood is rushing to that brain area. It's not meant to. You're not meant to be living upside down. So you likely have a brain bleed or something like that. Your brain isn't set for all that. Okay, but what that means is when you're also laying prone, like so. All right, when you're swimming, you're laying prone. Okay, what is happening with this blood? The blood is now, it's now here. All right, it's buoyant. Okay, so it doesn't have anything to go against, really. All right, it's just going this way. Okay, meaning the heart doesn't have to work as hard. All right, some people are swimming almost 5 hours a day. Okay, and yeah, it's cardio, but it's a different type. It's a different type of training. See what I'm saying? The blood is going to stay. It's not gonna hit those feet as much as it's meant to. All right, it's probably a biological or an anatomical thing that is meant for your blood to go down here and to keep your feet a certain way because of the amount of blood that's going down there. But we don't know. Well, I don't know yet. But what I am telling you is that your body's like this. Blood's going this way. It's not gonna hit every part. Okay, and it's not gonna hit every part the same way it does if you're standing straight up and down. Okay. Also, same thing in space. Space is no gravity. So what happens with the blood is it now flows a lot less urgency, I want to say, because it doesn't have to fight as much gravity, meaning the heart won't have to be as big. It'll shrink. All right. Interesting things. All right. It's called a trophy, where the heart is very adaptive. Is what science is telling us. All right. And you can see that those that run a lot, those that don't run a lot. All right, those that those that run a lot, those that don't run a lot. All right, you see people that run a lot, their resting heart rate, which is when I'm sitting right here, I'm not excited, my blood pressure isn't going up, my resting heart rate is a lot less than someone that doesn't run, someone that doesn't exercise their heart. All right, resting heart rate needs to be low. You should be able to sit right here and your heart shouldn't be going 160, 180 BPMs. See what I'm saying? But there are some people who can't even speak a complete sentence without losing breath. Okay? Because their heart rate is so high. Because their heart hasn't adapted, because they haven't put their heart through any sort of exercise that has to adapt to make it bigger or work harder. Make sense? Okay? So, hey, look, again. What does this do? Hey, for the future, could mean that obviously our anatomy is going to change. We were built for this planet. Whether you believe that we were actually built for this planet, or whether we came from this planet and evolved as such, we've been adapted to this planet and its makeup. So again, when you're thinking about space, or when you're putting yourself in areas that are different than the normal walking or running, all right, know your body's gonna adapt. And I want to say it's the same thing for you personally. Okay, your body adapts naturally. If I keep punching a wall over and over with my knuckles are gonna get harder. They're gonna get less sensitive. Okay, it's the same thing with your personality. If you keep breaking hearts all the time, eventually you're not gonna realize what it means. You're not gonna see people the same way. Okay, or if you keep shutting people out, okay, you're gonna adapt as such. All right. All right. We're gonna end with something I always like to do. All right. A little rest and relaxation. Inhale, exhale. All right. Just relax. Okay. Beat you here in this Nujabez. Shout out Japan. Nujabez. What's Reflection Eternal? What is this? Yeah, Reflection Eternal. Eternally reflecting on yourself. Okay. Peace, love, and use your head for more than a hat rack.